This week is going to really show you in relationships where you are overdoing, where you're taking in too many things that don't belong to you.
Welcome to the Story of Spirit podcast, where practical spirituality meets real life. Hi, I'm your host, She Tells Story. I'm a psychic medium, grief support counselor, professional astrologer, and a human design reader, and of course, a law of attraction master coach. With my unique blend of spiritual and practical tools, I am here to help you align with your soul-led purpose and ignite a life that sets your soul on fire. In this podcast, we are going to explore the principles of energy, astrology, spirituality, and psychology to help you heal your grief and create an aligned life and business from the inside out. Whether you are looking to deepen your intuition, understand your cosmic design, or transform your business, this podcast is for you. Join me each week for insightful discussions, practical tips, and inspiring stories that will guide you on your journey to living your very best life. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at She Tells Story or wherever you listen to this podcast. Let's dive in and start this transformative journey together. Welcome to the Story of Spirit podcast.
Welcome to the Astro Forecast for the week of November 11th through to the 17th. This is a big week in the astrology. We have some major planets changing signs and we have a lunation. So we started the week on Monday, November 11th in a second quarter phase of the moon in Pisces. This is going to be a very emotional and intuitive week, really tapping into that intuition to help you this week kind of with guidance. And if you don't have clarity, it is not the time to move forward. We are still in that Mercury retro shade, meaning we're going to be going over some of these things again when Mercury goes retrograde a little bit here, not next week, but the week after. So next week is when Mercury will go retrograde. So we're already in a time of like murkiness, if that's what I'll say. So no big decisions kind of coming right now. And if you don't have clarity or yes, this is what I want, I would say do not move ahead. So on Monday, November 11th, the sun is going to be in conjunct to Jupiter in Gemini. So this energy is a feeling of we can do it all. This is optimistic and feeling like we can just kind of getting lost in our thoughts, just kind of overthinking things, overdoing, committing to too many things. So this is a time to really focus your thoughts on your inner truth and get a good sense of timing for you. Reassess your goals and make sure you resonate with your core. They resonate with your core values. Okay, that's going to be important. Also on this day, Venus enters Capricorn. This is going to bring some stability. Venus was in Sagittarius, which is like freewheeling, optimistic, all the ideas, want to go on adventures. Venus in Capricorn now wants to have longevity. It requires long-term thinking. So this is going to shift the focus to relationships and finances, to commitments, stability, and long-term goals. This energy supports building solid foundations in both love and business matters. On Tuesday, November 12th, we have a Mercury Square to Saturn. This is going to be a communication hit in not a great way. So we want to take responsibility, but people don't want us to, or you might come across in an incorrect way. There can be a sense of restriction and misunderstanding. Patience is needed when dealing with delays or challenges in conversations. So you're really going to need patience. Saturn is about patience, and Mercury in Sagittarius does not have patience. It is not about the details. So this aspect is trying to slow you down to really take notice of what is your responsibility and what is not. And just pay attention to how you feel. There can be a sense of perfectionism coming in with this. Just notice that for yourself. Thursday, November 14th, we have Venus in conjunct to Mars. This is a ego conflict aspect. So this week is going to be a little bit conflicting, right? You can sort of see that already where we want to take responsibility, but like I envision almost like teenagers, right? They're like, no, I can do it for myself, and you're like, I want to help you. And it's not yours to take responsibility for. So this week is going to really show you in relationships where you are overdoing, where you're taking in too many things that don't belong to you. And there's going to be pushback or for others in you, where you are trying to assert self and others are not willing to acknowledge that. So this aspect of Venus and Mars not working, just they need a little bit of help to work together. There can be a clash of egos or desires versus practical stability. We need bold action, but we also need heart. We need that loving energy that is Leo to come in and sort of go, okay, where are we misaligned with our values and our goals to what we want to do? So this is going to feel like, I already got a glimpse, our finances and the things that we want to do don't line up, right? The time and energy that we have and the things that we don't want to do don't line up. So this is going to be a realignment, if you will, of what is important to you and why. Also on Friday, November 15th, we have Saturn direct in Pisces. Now, this is a very subtle aspect. Saturn's been sitting on the same degree for a while, but this is the last time Saturn will go retrograde in Pisces, I believe. And this Saturn direct in Pisces this year, I'll say that this year, but this is an aspect of turning point in now where you're beginning to implement what lessons you've learned during this retrograde phase. So spiritual growth, discipline, and setting healthy boundaries become achievable. So Saturn in Pisces is about where are you not staying true to your dreams? Saturn is about responsibility, duty, structure. He's father time. And Pisces is our spiritual aspirations, compassion, one love, empathy, our connection to the divine. And so these two planets are kind of weird. It's a weird mix, right? It's very murky waters in Pisces, and Saturn wants discipline, action, responsibility. So this is really about responsibility to our dreams, responsibility to be ethical, to be responsibility, not ethical, more so to have empathy and compassion for one another. So when you see things around the world happening and we don't have agency in that, that's Saturn in Pisces asking us to have agencies, to have agency to be compassionate for others, to donate to charities, to spend our time helping other people in some way. And when it's retrograde, it's removing guises. Where have you been lying to yourself where you can't move forward in your life? So this period of time over the last 3-4 months has been a little bit stressful, right? Because you've been seeing how you have been hiding from yourself, or the world has been reflecting back to you all the ways that you feel like you are not enough, right? To go after the dreams that you want. So Saturn direct in Pisces is a wonderful turning point now for spiritual growth, discipline, and setting healthy boundaries, becoming more achievable. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Saturn is the taskmaster of the zodiac. So wherever Saturn kind of plays out in your chart, you'll notice that you will take either responsibility for your life or not, or you might have issues about responsibility. Also on Friday, November 15th, and this is the big one of the week, it is a full moon in Taurus. So the sun is in Scorpio and the moon is in Taurus. And to make this extra spicy, Uranus is also going to be with the moon in Taurus. So this Taurus moon wants love. It wants to experience the pleasures of life. It wants longevity. It wants money. It wants stability. And Uranus is the opposite, right? It's not stability. It is like throwing things into chaos that are not working. It's changing up your life so you can see where you have been stagnant, right? That is exactly what Uranus says. And Uranus is genius energy. It's the higher octave of Mercury. Mercury is our mind, our thought processing, and genius energy is Uranus. This is looking at things from a higher perspective. So this is going to help us in some ways, but maybe not be evident today. And especially on Friday, I'm going to say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, there's going to be a lot of instability and instability as well in the markets. So it's not a time to make big securities in, investments or changes to your portfolio or big purchases right now. Not a good idea, because this Uranus in Taurus with the moon saying that we might want to make impulsive buys and it's not going to be in our long-term best interest. So the full moon is at 24 degrees of Taurus at 1:28 Pacific time PM, or 2:28 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is my time zone, or 4:28 Eastern Standard Time. And there's going to be themes here about like craving stability, maybe not having it in this moment, surprise, personal values as well. So Taurus represents stability, security, material comforts, and Uranus can bring a sudden change, innovative kind of innovation or disruption. This aspect suggests the changes in your personal values, finances, or physical environment may come out of the blue. So today, expect the unexpected and shore up your investments. Don't make any, big err on the side of caution with your money at this point in time, just because these aspects are going to say you might get a surprise bill, or, you might get a flat tire, or there's something that's going to be challenging your financial stability and is going to help you to see where you can shore up things. Now, the sun in Scorpio is about really digging deep to the depths of why you do what you do. This aspect is about money. This axis, we call it, right? Taurus and Scorpio Taurus is my money, and Scorpio is the money that is not ours or that we borrow from other people. So, or we get from alternative sources. So if we think Taurus is the money we earn, then Scorpio is our spouse's money, or Scorpio is the debt and taxes we owe, money that we have borrowed that we need to pay back. It's also inheritance, right? So money that comes in from other sources. Now, Taurus is also our gifts, our values, the things that we value in our lives, money, possessions, our gifts and talents, Taurus. And Scorpio is the things that we inherit from our ancestors, ancestral trauma, ancestral patterns, glimmers. There are ancestors out there in your family lineage that are like, yes, you are taking up the torch. They are glimmers, not the traumas, right? They exist in your lineage too. So this can be bringing up both of those things. So this lunation is asking you to look back at the intentions set during the new moon in Taurus on May 7th and see what has come to fruition. Now, Taurus is ruled by Venus. So I always like to look to the ruling planet, and Venus is in Capricorn squaring the North Node. This is a term, squaring means that there's a challenge or a difficult to integrate. And so this is a tension between our desire for stability in relationships and finances, which is Venus in Capricorn, and the need to pursue our true path and life purpose. That's a North Node in Aries. So this aspect is really going to be pulling us in the direction of like, we want security and we want long-term commitment, but we also want bold new direction. And how can we navigate that? Because we need both as we move forward. On Saturday, November 16th, the sun in Scorpio is opposite Uranus in Taurus. So this is expect the unexpected, right? And thank goodness it's a Saturday, but it's going to bleed over into, it's already in play during the full moon and in play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday as well. So this is a time where to really open up your agenda if you can. Reschedule some things and just open up some time to allow for disruptions. And there's going to be a shakeup to your routine. So I would say on Saturday, Sunday of November 16th, 17th, do not make big plans or concrete plans if you can, and just allow there to be change. And if you do have plans, because such is life, just know that they might shift, right? The venue might change, or the people might change, or someone might get sick. Like, just allow things to shift and just notice how you feel in those shifts, because life just happens, right? Things can happen and shift. And I know, when I'm with my husband, when things shift for him, he needs time to acclimate to what is shifting. For me, I'm very mutable by nature. So I'm just like, okay, no problem. Oh, we're canceling plans, or you can't come for brunch? No problem. Happy to stay in my pajamas all day. Like, happy to shift plans in a different way, because I know everything is happening for me, right? Something is coming that's going to be beneficial to this. Like, the universe always has a better plan for me than I could possibly have for myself. And that is going to be the key to this week, to really sitting in that. The universe has something better in store for me than I have for myself. What is the possibilities, the best that could happen out of these changing situations? And just notice. So expect the unexpected on Saturday. I'm going to say that's kind of a thing for the entire week. And just stay loose and healed and just notice how you feel when things are shifting. Wishing you the best week ahead. Thank you for being here. By the way, we have a little contest running this week. If you give me a little review on wherever you're listening to this, on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, take a snapshot of that and share it onto your social media, either story or post, tag me in it. And then under the post, I have a number of posts dropping about this contest. Just tag a friend that would love this podcast, and you'll be entered to win a free reading with me in 2025. Those reading spots are coveted and they are not easy to come by. So that is the value of $400. And I would be so happy to gift that to someone I'm going to do a random draw on the 15th. I'll be at the airport, actually, funny story, on my way to London. I'm so excited. And I will be doing the draw there at the airport to let you know who has won, and I'll contact you by DM. Now, if you're not on social media, you can take a screenshot of your review and email it to me directly at shetel@shetelstory.com, and you'll be entered into the draw. So that's only if you don't have social media. I know there's a few of you out there that aren't on Instagram or Facebook, and that I don't want to exclude you from this contest. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all your support. I receive DMs and comments and so many wonderful notes from you all on how you're taking in the podcast, things that are aha moments. I love all of that. And I am a very social person. So it is me on my social media. It is me responding to emails. And I appreciate every single one of you. Wishing you the best week ahead.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Story of Spirit podcast. I hope you have found inspiration, support, and practical insights to help you align with your soul-led purpose and live a life that sets your soul on fire. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, and share it with a friend. Your support helps us to reach more listeners and continues to provide valuable content. I sincerely appreciate every share, and I know it is how most people find me. It is because caring people like you have shared me with them at the right and perfect time. For more resources, insights, and to connect with our community, please visit us at www.shetelstory.com and follow us on Instagram at shetelstory. Remember, your journey to a more aligned and vibrant life is just the beginning, and I am here to support you every step of the way. Until next time, stay aligned, stay inspired, and keep shining your beautiful light. This is Shetel Story, signing off from the Story of Spirit podcast. Here's the legalese that's required by our lawyers. This podcast and the YouTube channel represents the opinions of Shetel Story and her guests to the show. The content should not be taken as medical, psychological, or financial advice. This series is informational and entertainment purposes only. Because each person is so unique, please consult your healthcare professional, your mental health dream team, your financial advisor, or anyone else that's an expert in the field in where you are thinking of making big choices in your life.